Rabbi Schneier, Dr. Cantor, Dr. Stern, honored rabbis and imams, I'm here to talk about what's going on in the UK as we speak. And the picture as between Jews and Muslims is varied and various. On the one hand, it is an unsettled picture. We have discovered fault lines over the past decade, and particularly since 9/11, that we didn't even know existed. We are very different communities. The Jewish community, small and growing older. The Muslim community, younger and growing larger. And yet, at the very same time, those of us who are working in the interfaith sphere, and particularly as between Jews and Muslims, have discovered a plethora of common interests. And we've also learned that we are each other's best allies. When it comes to anti-Semitism, which has seen an upswing in the UK, and when it comes to Islamophobia, which has certainly seen an upswing. And when we talk about these phenomena, we're not talking about wider society. We are talking about ourselves. There is anti-Semitism within the Muslim community, and there is Islamophobia within the Jewish community. And we start at home. And if we model tolerance and respect at home, we make an impact further afield. And that's why we set up in the UK the Children of Abraham. This was directly inspired by Rabbi Mark Schneier's FFEU in America, and it came directly out of an FFEU-sponsored trip to America in 2009. And it is a network of rabbis and imams. I'm honored to see some of our network here today, stretching across the UK and reaching now into Europe. And as Dr. Cantor said, it is actually about the word. It's about dialogue, but not at an abstract sense. It's about standing up and saying what we believe in and standing up for the other. We have a number of initiatives afoot in the UK, but most recently we unveiled in the House of Lords on the 23rd of November as an event which was, in my mind, the climax of the international FFEU twinning project. We unveiled a declaration by scholars of Al-Azhar al-Sharif in Cairo, who, through dialogue with us in the UK, and particularly through the good offices of my dear friend Sheikh Mohammed al-Shakawi, who could not be here with us today, were persuaded to issue a fiqh, a fatwa, rescinding the previous restriction on dialogue with other Abrahamic religions, but this was a euphemism for dialogue with the Jews. And it's not that there hasn't been dialogue. It's just that this is a religious encouragement from the oldest bastion of Sunni Islam, 1,100 years old, 1,100 years of continuous scholarship and leadership in the Muslim world. And through lifting that fatwa, we hope there will be a trickle-down effect. And not merely for the UK, but in fact across the world. It is but one initiative, but it is a top-down initiative which we hope will sow seeds and nurture those seeds from the ground up. I don't want to say any more. I think I've reached my time restriction. I would particularly like, in handing over to my dear colleague, Imam Dr. Abdul Jalil Sajid, who is one of our trustees of Children of Abraham, along with Sheikh Halima Krausen, who's sitting across from me, I would like to acknowledge his 30-year contribution to this sphere as a wise elder and a cool head and an open heart. Dr. Sajid.